Good evening to everyone. Welcome to another edition of Walking This Way's Impact Force podcast. I'm your host, Furman Jackson Jr., broadcasting live once again from the DFW, along with my co-host, DeQuan. DeQuan, what's going on with you? How you been doing, sir?
I'm good, happy. Had a lot of productive work going on. So,
Man, that
and
was
then
a productive.
the show, and I just love the name of the show, Hawaiian 5-0. That's dope.
Yeah, something different, something unique, something just came on top of my head with. And I also want to welcome my very special guest this evening. We're working with Rebecca and Heidi. Welcome, ladies, to Walking This Way's Impact Force podcast. I know, Rebecca, you're not a stranger to the show. We thank you for taking time out of your productive schedule. I know y'all are in Hawaii for the big pageant that's coming up. We thank
Yes.
y'all for just really being part of it. So, ladies, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
You go ahead.
Okay. I am Heidi Peterson, and my title is Miss USA Elite. I'm originally from Maryland and currently live in Utah. And I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we appreciate you. Thank you as well. Of course, go ahead, Rebecca. You know, a stranger to
I,
the show.
yes, I'm Rebekah Slayton, and I am the youth. What I'm trying to give y'all my resume for work. Never mind. I am Miss USA Ambassador for World Universal Productions, and we are sister queens. We are two of the Five-0 of Team USA, and we'll be competing this Sunday at 11:30 Hawaiian time. Um, it'll be live stream tickets are available for that if you want to watch that and support us. And we are in the international pageant for World Universal Productions. I live in Tennessee, and Heidi and I met basically online, and I lured her into the pageant system, and she came and beat me in the competition. She won the higher title than me, but that's okay.
But you know what? It's a beautiful thing. They are still working and still putting together. Just give us the background on the pageant for those who get to know for the very first time.
Okay. World Universal Productions is about 3.5 years old. And Nancy Ellen Martin is our CEO. And she and some of her best friends and cohorts developed this pageant system for women who could not compete otherwise. Um, we basically it's a very inclusive pageant. It's for, you can be age 25 and up. There's no cap on your age. I'm 47, Heidi's 48. We're the two oldest, most seasoned
Hmm.
queens
Seasoned, yes.
um of the Team USA. But we also have Carly Sherman, who is Miss USA WP, and Kaylee Bradshaw, who is Miss USA Global World. So, and I think Carly's in her late 30s, and Kaylee's the youngest of us. She's in her late 20s. So it's a very wide range of women, professional women, mothers, single women, your marital status, your politics, your religion, your whether or not you have children or not, none of that matters. As long as you are 25 and up and you believe in our three pillars, which are diversity and inclusion, philanthropy, and belonging. And this pageant system gives a lot to various organizations. You're not required to have a platform, but both Heidi and I do. My platform, of course, as y'all know, since I've been on here before, is juvenile justice reform. And Heidi's is, I'll let her talk about that herself. So I'll let her hang it up. Go ahead.
Okay. So my platform it really ties into diversity and inclusion, but it's multiple sclerosis awareness. I was diagnosed with MS in 2015, and I really wanted to follow a path of awareness, education. When I was diagnosed, I really didn't know anything about MS. And so it was really important for me to find a path and an outlet to really let people know about MS. And so I'm an ambassador for the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. And that's really been what I've focused on since joining World Universal.
Man, that's awesome. And I know y'all mentioned y'all the oldest one at the pageant. Have y'all find yourself mentoring the young ladies under y'all when they come to you asking for advice or
Yes.
how to conduct themselves, stuff like that?
We have new queens. We have had a preliminary pageant that happened late last month. No, early
Early
this
this.
month in Washington, and we've had several. We've had four new queens join, and part of what I do as ambassador is reach out to them and say, we're here for you if you need anything. Um, all of us, all four of the queens are here. If you have questions about how to walk, how to talk, how to interview, any of that, we try to help them out with that. We're not saying we're like the pros at it, but we have been where they're going to be in New Orleans on that stage. And it is daunting sometimes, especially, I mean, we're older and it was hard for us. So we know that, younger people that aren't sure exactly, you don't have to have pageant experience to be in this pageant system. So we aren't professional pageant queens. Some of us have grown up in those systems, but there's a lot of unknown out there that we always try to help the other girls, other women with. And we have a great new group of queens coming on. Y'all really need to, Furman, I'll give you her information, and Daquan, to reach out to our new Miss Tennessee, Gianna Castillo. She is fabulous. She has her own podcast, and I think you would benefit from having her on your show as well. So I'll give you that information later. But I mean, our
Okay.
new queens are dynamic, all range of ages and experience and professions. So really, they are a very diverse group.
Well, and I think one great thing is that yes, with younger queens coming in, that advice is given, but also really for any age, because all of us come from such different backgrounds, whether it be geographical, where we are in life as far as career, volunteer organizations, marital status. We all have just unique stories, and so it's one of the great things is when new queens do come in, they do reach out, and we reach out to them, and each are able to provide different types of advice for them.
I think the main thing that people need to understand about this pageant, you're going to hear a lot of people in a lot of pageants tout that they are a sisterhood of queens. And that's like a catchphrase sometimes. But here in World Universal Productions, it's a true sisterhood. Like once you're a queen, you're always a queen. So we have perpetual queens basically. So even though your reign may be over, you're still an alumni queen, and you're still in that network, in that family. It really is a family. And Heidi and I um never would have, I mean, when we started talking, like I thought she was great and whatever, but I never knew how much we would actually have in common. And we, like, I probably spend more time talking to Heidi than I do my biological sisters. And that's just because we have a lot in common as far as our platforms of trying to help people, and how we believe in philanthropy, and what we believe about diversity and inclusion. And we want this pageant system to be successful and to be a beacon of light for all women, because for so long and throughout history, women have been marginalized. And this isn't a beauty pageant. It's not your old school beauty pageant. This is about who you are on the inside and what you bring to the table as a human being, more so than are you just a pretty face that can walk up and down a runway, because we all know robots can do that, right? But
Right.
they can't show love. They can't show, they can't make a difference in this world. You have to have that heart. You have to have that empathy. You have to have that, you know, wanting to help other people. And Heidi and I, we spend our lives doing that. Like that's what we do. I help kids. She helps animal. I mean, she has another nonprofit that she can talk to you about, but animals that have been thrown away by people that have been abused. So, I always say that the the people that need us most are the ones who have the least support, animals and children. um, and you just kind of, it's, we've bonded over the fact that we just want to help people. um, but the sisterhood that we have developed is, it's amazing. I don't want to cry because I've cried a lot the past 2 days because I have jet lag. But if ever there was somebody that I could just reach out to and say, "Hey, I need help because I'm struggling here. Like I've given all I can give, and I feel like I'm losing it," then I would reach out to Heidi or Tabitha or both, and we could do a three-way call. But our sisterhood is real and it's true and it's an amazing thing. And I hope that through our example, the new queens will build those relationships too, because they will have a friend, a sister for life. This is a, wouldn't you agree? Like,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it definitely.
maybe you just be talking to myself here. I don't know.
No, I agree completely. And, I think when you get into an environment where you do meet like-minded women who support each other, it is a rare thing a lot of times because there is just this competitive nature within women. And obviously we all know with social media and everything. And so it's nice to come into a sincere environment and to be able to bond over commonalities that we have in this group.
And it's awesome that you have women yourself that have class, have integrity, and have standards and more about yourselves and what you're doing because we know that in the world we're in, they categorize women, in the category of sex, and you got to look this way, that way. But
Right.
we had women on here before who want to break the algorithm of that. It's like, hey, don't focus on my body, focus on what I have to say, my messages, or what I'm doing. I applaud y'all ladies for that. So I give y'all roses for that on the work that y'all doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
And I will say that I've noticed with the new queens that were crowned earlier this month, they have already built a very strong bond. Jenny, Irsa, um, Bridget, and Ashley Breezy, they are like already kind of where we ended up at the New Orleans pageant. So I can only imagine how strong they're going to be and what a force they're going to be in their communities, especially by the time they get to New Orleans, what they're going to have accomplished. I know our new Miss Oregon, she wasn't at that preliminary, but her name's Susan Funk. She is amazing. Like she already has her press release out. She has all these like appearance dates that she's doing. I mean, the new queens, it's not just a spokesperson or a model on your pamphlets or on your website. They're out there working. They're out there doing good for their communities, and I'm already amazed by them. So they're teaching me some things too, like what I could do better in my capacity as a queen. So I think that we're all kind of learning from each other, and it's cyclical, but it's a good cycle, and it's one that we need to keep going. Mm-hmm. So I'm very proud of what Nancy Ellen and Akila and Jean and all of us have built here. And I just hope that it, continues and grows stronger, because it's a good thing. It's one of the good things in this world. Like you said, this world is so ugly sometimes and dark, that if you let it, it will pull you down with it. But if you have people around you that don't want that and that are there shining their light, everybody benefits from that.
Yeah, they really do. Because we know we're in a world now where things are chaotic. Every day you see it's getting weirder and weirder every day. But it's good to have individuals ourselves that's willing to be a light, be an example, be positive, and help other women that's coming up in the ranks to get to that place where they want to be at. Because everybody want to live a very productive life, a very successful life. Nobody don't want to tend to live a suck life, but live a life that's worth meaning, that, hey, I can look back, that who I came in contact with, I made an impact on their life. And that's what it's all about. Because you never know what a person may be going through, dealing with. So we just never know. It's always good to be very sensitive to other people. The Corn, you have anything you want to ask the ladies?
Oh yeah, I got a question. Rebekah, I remember when I first like kind of started following you and you was talking about this and this trip to Hawaii, and every day I was like, I wonder if like I did enough to help like get her there.
You
And so now for you to say you there, I'm like, yeah.
Yes, I can't thank you enough for your support. Every time I post something, you're like, "Hey, boss, can you make this public?" And I always forget just because I keep mine, kind of locked down because some of the kids that I deal with, I don't necessarily need them friend requesting me, but they just every time that I've posted something, you've been right there on it. And I can't thank you enough because I know that with my People's Choice voting, you've helped me get several people vote for me and for my charity of choice, which is Epic Girl, who works, it's a, very small nonprofit that needs every dime that they can get out of donations. And so, Daquan, I can't thank you enough. And Furman also for y'all bringing me on. You didn't know me, but you gave me a shot, and y'all are the real bosses, and I really appreciate that. So, Daquan, like, not trying to take anything away from Furman, but Daquan, you are the backbone. You're the man. Like, you keep things running and you keep things tight, and I really appreciate you. Like, I feel like you're a brother of mine, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate all y'all because y'all all played a role somewhere for me being on this. I got another question for you though.
Okay.
What is it like now that you're there? Because I ain't never been there. I don't know when I ever will get a chance, but I definitely want to know what it's like in the scenery.
Well, I'll tell you, um, we're on the side, we're on in the Waikiki Beach, and it's very commercialized and
Mm,
very grown up, which if you're like me, I've grown up in the South, and I always go on vacation either on the East Coast or on the Gulf Coast. And you've got beaches that are kind of wide open and not everybody's on them, and everybody's not like on top of each other. You have like condo here, but like this is like inner city almost. But it's beautiful. Like from the sky, we were taking pictures. Heidi said that I was messing up her pictures because I was at the window seat and I was like this, and she's like, all I can see is your phone taking pictures. But I mean, it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous from the sky. We haven't even been to the beach yet, so I'm excited about that. Like, we've been busy here around here trying to get stuff, supplies and stuff like that. It's very expensive here.
Yes.
Very. Like, a little prime rib shaved sandwich that would cost maybe $10 at home cost me $22 last night.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, and it's super expensive here, but where we are, the hotel that we're in it's like a sister hotel to a bigger resort where we're actually going to have our pageant. So it's quieter here than I guess it would be over there. But yeah, we it's Heidi's got to visit here before, and she went to the other side of the island that's more private and not as grown up and commercialized. So she could tell you more about that.
Well, yeah, I think it just depends. Well, with any type of vacation you go on, it just depends on what your idea of vacation is and what you want your surroundings to be. When I came here before, we were in a much quieter area. It was more secluded. I knew coming in that Waikiki Beach would be very touristy and crowded, and so it's just a different environment. But again, it's Hawaii. It's beautiful. Yeah, we're just really happy to be here. It's great, and to be here together with all of our sisters.
And that's what's all about, guys. See the chemistry, the interaction, the excitement. Like all the places were why Hawaii for the pageant.
They actually tried, they were going to have it in Hawaii 3 years ago, and then COVID stopped that.
Okay.
So they'd already paid a lot of money to have it here. And the hotel, I guess, agreed to hold that until, because Hawaii was on lockdown. They weren't letting anybody in during the COVID. So they ended up having once Australia opened up, they had it in Australia for internationals. And now, we had to we didn't want that money thrown away that had already been
Makes sense.
invested. So we came back here. So next year, my understanding is, well, we don't know yet where it's going to be. So
I think with World Universal, it feels like it's really about experiencing new cultures,
Yes.
going to different places. And so I think when the directors make a choice of where the pageant it's going to be, it's really taking all of that into account and wanting to give women just an amazing experience all around.
I mean, it would make sense because, like, being open minded, diverse, just getting out your comfort zone to be able to
Mhm.
go
Right.
and learn different cultures, different people, and stuff like that. So that really makes sense. I
Yeah.
know y'all in Hawaii for this week. So how had the festivities been since y'all been there? Because I know the big event this weekend, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Actually, the pageant itself doesn't start till tomorrow, so today's like a check-in day. We came early because Heidi had a generous sponsor that was able to that wanted because of Heidi's MS. Um, it's traveling is very hard on her. So I flew into Salt Lake City so that she didn't have to travel alone because that's not a good idea. Um, for Heidi because of the stress that goes along with travel. So I flew into Salt Lake City and spent the night at her home, and then we flew out together yesterday so that we could have an extra day, extra night to get her used to the climate, to the over the jet lag, um, and so it actually starts tomorrow. So not
Right.
everybody's here yet. So we still have people coming in.
Yeah. So really,
That's
yeah,
a real friend
yeah,
right there.
day for us to rest and feel better, and everything will start tomorrow.
Yeah. So
Man, that's what's up. And
It
I
ain't a lot
know
of people that'll do that for a friend. I'll tell you that.
I
Oh
love
yeah. When she offered to do that for me, I really I cried because you're right. There aren't a lot of people that would do that, and to have someone in my life who's so attentive and knows what I need and that's willing to go that extra mile and do something like that. But to Rebekah, it's not going that extra mile. That's what friendship is to her, and that's what I love about her. It was not even, it was just, I'm coming to Salt Lake and I'm flying there with you, period. And I love that about her. It's
I know that she would do it for me if
right. I
the
would.
shoes were on the other feet. Like I know how I would want to be treated in her situation, and I just try to live my life like how would I want someone to how would I want someone to treat me. I try to take that into perspective. You guys know that because I've talked to you about that. Like when I talk with kids and counsel kids, I think to myself, what did my 15-year-old self need to hear instead of the pointing and the the arguing and the yelling and the condemnation because I'm a kid and don't understand any better. Like what can I do? What am like? I try to think to myself, what does this girl need? What did this girl, me, need at her age so that I can treat her accordingly? And I just think if I had MS or some, autoimmune disease or something that kept me from being fully able to take care of myself or just need some extra attention, I would want somebody in my corner to be like, "Hey, you don't have to do this by yourself." And I just think that if we start as a human as humankind thinking how we want to be treated and then treat others accordingly, that this world would just be a better place.
Nah, I agree. I really do. I mean, just basically, how y'all talk about your friendship, the realness there. It was no not making excuses. So like nowadays, you call somebody up, you ask them for something, they give you all type of excuses. But then they want to say we tight, we boys, whatever you want to
Yeah.
say, girls, whatever. But it's all about don't just talk about it, but be about it. And like you say, it's like how do I want to be treated? So if I want to be helpful, I got to demonstrate that myself also. So I respect what you're saying, Rebecca. That's much needed to hear because we as humans we take that very lightly, and it comes with cliches, and then not realizing that our words mean a lot to
Yes.
any and everybody. What they say, your word is your bond, right? So if you don't come
Right.
through in your word, people can't trust you no more. Really can't trust you no more, really for
No,
real. Because you didn't come through me before. You're not. I know you're not gonna do it again. So
that's
that's
right.
a lesson learned for everybody, man. Just be mindful what you're gonna do. If you're gonna be about it, be about it. If you can't do it, don't don't just say you can't do it. Don't say yeah I do it. Then come
Don't
around, well I
talk.
can't do it.
You're willing to walk the walk.
Right.
I agree 1,000%.
And
Go
for
ahead.
oh, I was just going to say, for me growing up, like I said, I was born in Maryland, and my grandparents, they lived in this farmhouse, for 70 years, and one bathroom. They had a huge garden. And one thing that they instilled into, kids, grandkids was really to be kind, to have that open door policy, and to really just to love people. They had over 20 foster kids, and their house was known in the community as a place you could go and you could feel comfort, not be judged. And Sunday family dinners. They passed away, about 7 years ago at the age of 99 and 96, but everybody knows that door is still always open. And I'm very blessed that that's a trait that was instilled into me. And as Rebekah said, I just think it's really important that we're all aware of people's surroundings and what people need.
Yeah, most
And you
definitely.
never,
Also, we got to give a big shout out to Carrie K.
never know
Zagan.
what somebody's
The
going through.
comment.
I mean, you don't ever know what somebody's gone through or that they're currently going through.
Mm-hmm.
And you could be the one thing that saves them from making an ultimate terrible decision.
Right.
You could be that one person, and you may never know that you're that one person, but you're that one person, and they will never forget that. And
True.
that you're saving, if you save one person's life, think of all the generations you're saving.
Yeah.
I don't know how that doesn't make you feel blessed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Just putting a smile on somebody's face. Because it just showing that you care, and that's what we
Right.
need. On a regular basis. Not doing it, I'm doing it to be seen, but you doing this out of the
Yeah.
kindness of your heart. And that's what it's all about. And I know it's a beautiful thing. The coin got thing you want to ask.
Yeah, I actually do. Excuse me if I go away from the screen. I'm just writing the question down. So from what I see about pageants in general, it's really neat, nice, clean. Are there any like ethics, like general ethics, people skills that you really find yourself developing in a pageant?
I think that we have learned from each other and each other's experiences. So we've all of us as women have overcome something. To be a woman in America, period, you have to overcome a lot. Not saying you guys are the problem. I'm just saying that it's our history. And so we've all had to overcome something, and we've all had to learn our own ways to survive. And what we share with each other is our specific story and how we survived it. And then we learn from each other, like how somebody else survived it. And like, I've learned a lot from Heidi. When I found out that she had MS, I started researching MS, because it's just like when my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer twice. The first time I was too young, I was only in 3rd grade. But the second time I was a mother myself, and I thought I was going to lose my mom, and what did I do? The first thing I did was I started researching everything I could about breast cancer. I started researching every new treatment. When Heidi, told me she had MS, I started learning everything that I could about it and trying to understand what she went through. Because she seemed, with autoimmune disorders, you can't see it necessarily. And we were talking about this on the plane yesterday, that she's lost some friends, or that really weren't friends, or even family members, because they say, well, you look fine to me. Well, you can't see, and we all have traumas that have scarred us on the inside that other people can't see. And unless we sit down and discuss those and divulge how we made it through, that one thing that helped us make it through may be the one thing that person needed to hear to make it through their own problem or their own mental illness or their own health issue. So I think that as far as ethics go, what we've learned is to be more ethical in our approach to people, meaning that everybody matters and every story matters. And if you listen to them, if you listen to understand rather than to respond, that you are going to learn a lesson every time.
Well, and along with that, I think vulnerability is a really important thing as well. I mean, everyone obviously has their guards up on certain aspects of their story, but I think just being honest and open as you're talking to people on your journey, it it really tells the true story, and you're being sincere, and that to me is when people can really learn from you. It's not always pretty. A lot of it is ugly, and but again, if we can share that in a graceful way, I think that opens the door again for people to learn so much more, and to help,
Yeah.
and it helps them on their path.
And it also helps you if you're suffering with something and you've been suffering, and you get to tell your story and realize I live with this every day, which means I'm a hell of a lot stronger than I thought I was. And
Right.
I'm gonna get emotional because Heidi told me that something that I've noticed about Heidi in the past year is that she decided when she did this pageant, and I've seen it, I've seen her evolve in this, and that she was not going to take crap from people anymore. Like, she, not necessarily that she was going to be mean or belligerent or, like hateful to anybody, but that she was going to stand her ground. When somebody said something stupid or did something stupid, she was going to call them out on it, because they need to learn they can't say those things. You can't tell somebody that has MS that they seem okay and not break their heart. Our words have power, and we can break somebody, or we can heal somebody with our words. And she has come so far in being vocal about her journey, and then calling people out when she thinks that they need to be called out, not to hurt them, but to empower them to be better people.
Right.
Right.
So
Yeah.
mostly all about accountability.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And calling, like Rebekah said, calling someone out, it's not out of malice or anything like that.
It's out of love.
It's out of love, and it's really about passing the education on to someone they may run into. What if they meet another person that has MS, or someone who has a family member with MS, or any other, it doesn't necessarily have to be about multiple sclerosis, but if you're educating that person that you come into immediate contact with, it's the domino effect, and they're going to teach that next person, who's going to pass it on and pass it on. And I think that's so important for us to do.
Yeah, it is. I know that being accountable, have accountability, and it just made me think about how people have to grow in certain areas in their life that they didn't realize they have to grow in. And then when you really break it down to them, break it down to real, okay, I need to really grow in this area in my life, because some things will stop us from getting to the next level per se,
Right.
Mhm.
because of certain traits and certain behaviors that we portray. Because if you get to the next level, you have to break that old stuff. So I'm glad you brought that up. Accountability is very important. You got to have that on
Right.
every walks of life.
Well, and also it's helped because every time I learn something new about myself, as far as ways to talk to people. I learn new things from whoever may make a statement, because if one person thinks about it that way, chances are there are going to be several people that do. So it really helps on the approach of educating the public. And so I think that's something else that's really important for people to remember. This is a constant learning process. And that's what I love about it as well, is I become a better person every day, and I learn more about myself and other people every day.
Yeah,
And
that's what's
that,
up.
just to piggyback off that, World Universal Productions is not it's a dynamic. And so we're not static. We're not staying in one place, because nobody grows that way, right?
Right.
So with the new queens and the new experiences, the new traumas, the new, survival skills that we all learn together, we are promoting a dynamic, synergetic, synergy is much more powerful than energy. When you have a synergetic approach, and everybody's working towards a goal, everybody contributes and everybody benefits.
Right.
So, that's super important to understand about World Universal Productions, is that we are a dynamic group of women. We're not static. We're going to continue to change and evolve And that's because every human being has a story to tell, and every human being matters. and and we take that into account, I think, better than other pageant systems do, obviously, because we don't, put those, um, I guess, requirements on people, because we don't know. It's an old Scottish proverb or old Scottish poem that says, "Never judge a man by his coat. A rich heart can lie under a tattered cloth." Like, he could be the richest man in the world, like his heart could be the best, but you give him one glance and he looks like he's a hobo, so you just keep on walking, and you've just lost an opportunity for somebody that could actually make a difference in your life.
Yeah, that's true. Cause I know, cause we've been programmed on per se, how we look at people, how we view people.
That's right.
Mhm.
I know everybody has a unique story. Everybody has great character, no matter what walk like you came from, no matter what the color of your skin is. You just never know when you interact with a person. Like Martin Luther King said, don't judge a man by the color of his skin, but by character. And that's what we
Right.
forget. It's all about the character of the individual, because you could be a rich man, a rich woman, and have a nasty attitude, nasty
That's right.
character. So that's very important. Character is everything. That's something I'm glad now that we're starting to pay attention more now. Is
Right.
the character of the individual. Um, in the pageant, how I know that's very important is character for the ladies. How how let's see, how is it when it comes to when it comes to the ladies being a part of? How do y'all go about the character, things of that nature? Because I know when you want on a platform, they gotta come with integrity, everything. That stuff plays a major role. I know, been on the forefront.
There are, of course, we believe in constitutional rights of freedom of expression and freedom of speech, as long as you're not hurting someone else,
Right.
as long as you're not condemning someone else. You can't expect to everybody to agree with everything you say, nor should you try to force that. So what we do is, we have, when we become queens, or when we become part of World Universal, the first thing that we're taught, or the first thing that is hammered into us is, you have to embody these three pillars. You have to believe in diversity and inclusion. You have to do philanthropy. You have to understand how important philanthropy is, and you have to understand what it means to provide a belonging. It's not, you belong with me because we look the same, or you belong with me because we both are in the same field, or your platform mirrors mine, so we belong together. It's, we're sisters, whether we chose that or not, because we're not the judges. Um, we're together, and how can we benefit from each other to provide an atmosphere of belonging for diversity and inclusion. So you want that atmosphere. And then when everybody's there together and there's that synergy, the first thing that happens is everybody's like, this feels so good with us. How can we give it to other people? And that's where
Hmm.
philanthropy shoots in.
Well, and a big part of it too is really in supporting each other is sharing each other's stories, or when others in the sisterhood, when someone has an event or someone's on a podcast, it's really important for each of us to share that information, because we want to support everyone that's involved in the organization. It's not about us individually,
No.
it's about the sisterhood.
I mean, you guys have been following me for a while, and I think you follow Heidi. How many times have you seen that I've posted just about myself?
Not really.
Not much.
You always putting other people over.
Well, because that's my job as an ambassador, is to bridge that gap between the pageant system and the public, and try to make the public understand how this pageant system can empower women, and how that can benefit all of society if women are empowered and feel safe to say and do the things they need to do to get difference made. Um, so, I think that, just, I think it's important, in every queen has a realm that they preside over, right? So every queen has to take in account all of her people, or she's a crap queen. So you don't want to exclude people ever in your kingdom, or what are you going to have? You're going to have an unstable kingdom, right? Or queendom.
Right.
So what you want to do is you want everybody to feel like they're part of that kingdom or that queendom, and that they all matter. Because then you're going to have loyalty, you're going to have people that are happy, you're going to have people that are fulfilled.
Well, and we may have people that follow us individually that support us and want to know our story, but we may not have a specific life experience that they connect directly to. But when we're sharing stories of other women within the organization, they may have a platform that person is having a direct experience with, or they may have a family member. And so that's another thing that I think is great about sharing each other's stories, because we all, again, come from such different backgrounds. Chances are someone in the organization is going to be able to help or have some type of influence on a person's life.
Yeah, because when you build that network, if Heidi has somebody call her about what to do about a kid that's having mental health issues, she knows she can reach out to me. Mm-hmm. If I have a kid that's on my caseload who's struggling because he's a full-time caregiver for his mother, but he's also supposed to go to school and follow all the laws, which is a lot for a kid, I reach out to Heidi and say, how can I help this kid better? Like, what do I need to do to show him some grace and to help him through this? And then, we have queens who, like Carly, who's Miss USA, World Universal. She is her platform is adoption, and the Trevor Project, which is for LGBTQ transgender youth. And we may have a kid I may have a kid that comes through court that's struggling with something, that I can reach out to Carly, or she may have a friend that's struggling with her MS and her kids transition, like all that. We can reach out to other queens within the system and say, help us here. And there's that constant back and forth. That flow of communication is never stagnant. It's like I said, it's not static, it's not stagnant, it's dynamic, it's flowing. And when you have flowing communication, you're better off.
Well, and the joy of being here for internationals is that we are going to be able to get that perspective from women who are from all over the world.
Right.
And so, that's
like, we have Japan here, Canada, Philippines, of course, USA. Who am I missing? I don't think I'm missing anybody. Yeah. But like, I want to know what other women from other cultures think about American women, because a lot of times you hear like American women are liberated and, we're not held back. Bull crap, but like from their point of view. Oh, Miss India.
Yes.
So
and Miss Native
America and North America. Yes. So what you're seeing is, like, I want to know what they see American women as, so that I can tell them, let me tell you about the struggles. Okay. But compared to what they have had to go through in their own countries or their own cultures, it may not be a struggle, which would make me feel better. Like, having that flow of information and learning about those cultures is why I really wanted to come to internationals. Like, I want to know what other people think about us. Because there's this, you all know, because you've grown up in America, like that we're this land of the free and all this, and it's and everybody has the same equality. That's bullcrap. We know that's bullcrap. That's why I fight so hard for these kids. These kids don't have a voice. They have nobody on their side because they're not important enough. They don't pay taxes. Let's just get real. They don't contribute to the budgets, right? So we just throw them away. Well, guess what? We throw them away. Where are we going to be in 20 years when they're of age and we need Social Security? We don't have it, and I just like to say to, see what they think about us. And so that I can dispel some stereotypes. And also that I can learn what other people think about us, so that maybe, if we win international titles, we're going to be around international people on an international platform, and we can change the way people see American women. That's huge.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true. Go ahead.
yeah, and sharing information, just in general, as far as practices go, things that we all know, policies are different in different countries, and I think it's important for us to learn as much as we can. And sometimes it turns into, you get more information and you can learn different ways to advocate for different things within the U.S. And so I think that's really key.
It is, because the most important thing is about winning, and it's like one win, we all win, and that's what it's all about. If people get that concept that we complement each other, we don't compete against each other, we complement each other, it's a win-win situation. That's just how I look at it.
Right.
Yes.
From a standpoint, it's about winning championships, right? Building the dynasty. That's what it's all about. Let me ask y'all ladies this: will the pageant would it be live streamed on social media
It will
platforms
be live
for people?
streamed. If you go to my or Heidi's link on our bios or our profiles, you can buy tickets on our link tree, off of our link trees. The tickets are $25 plus I think it's a 68-cent service fee, and it will be live streamed. You'll get a link. You'll automatically get a confirmation and via email, and then you'll get a link on the day of the pageant, which is Sunday, and you'll log in through that link.
Right. Or you can go to worlduniversalproductions.com and find tickets on that website as well.
Yes. And Saturday night we have I think they're going to be live streaming our red carpet on Facebook. So that's a red carpet event where we dress up and just kind of go and meet and greet type thing. So once I find out where exactly that's going to be, I can send you a link and you guys can watch that. And I think that's going to be free.
Right.
Okay, awesome. And I know y'all got some stuff y'all got to do after the show. I'm not gonna hold y'all long. So Rebekah, Heidi, do y'all have any final remarks y'all want to leave with the listening audience that would may go back and listen to this episode?
I just would like to say that if you've ever thought about pageantry, ever, and you said, no, it's not for me because I'm too old, I have kids, I don't have a platform, I'm too fat, I'm not a size 2. Listen, I thought all of those things myself because of the stereotypes that go along with pageantry. But this World Universal Productions is a new type of pageantry. It's modern pageantry, and everyone is welcome, and we want you to join our sisterhood. Email and call me or message me. I'm here for it. That's my job as ambassador. If you're anywhere in the United States of America, even here in Hawaii, and you're watching this and you're like, hey, this seems like the kind of system I want to be in, reach out to me, message me, let me know. Furman, Daquan, if people reach out to you and they say, like, we have queens in Texas, we have 2 queens from Texas, but there are other titles that are now available. You still have time to get ready to go to New Orleans in October. It's going to be awesome. It always is awesome in New Orleans. We stay in the Bourbon Orleans Hotel, which is right there on Bourbon Orleans in the what am I trying to say? Intersection. And we have so much planned, and that's when we'll be passing on our crowns to the new queens. But the more contestants we have, the more we'll be able to offer at that pageant, and the more activities and empowerment, and we just really want this to grow. And we are absolutely, Heidi and I and Kaylee and Carly and our director Akila, I can't leave her out because she is our backbone. We want this to be a spectacular pageant, and we want women of every shape, size, color, race, creed, religion. We want you to come feel like that you're part of something, because you will be a forever sister, and it's an experience of a lifetime. It's life changing. It's life enriching. And I think that I never would have met Heidi if it wasn't for this. So I'm really excited about this pageant system, and they can come watch me cry on stage when Heidi and I are taken away from each other at the end of our reigns. But we won't be because we'll always be sisters. But
Most
um,
definitely.
we're here for it. We want those contestants, and if you guys can help us out with that, I'll send you links. Heidi can send you links to sign up, or call Akila. Akila loves to talk to people about competing, and just come be part of something that matters and that can make a difference.
Right.
And let me ask you before y'all agree to go. A part of the
Wait,
pageant.
say something, Furman.
Oh, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
No, I agree with everything Rebekah just said. I also really want to stress to people, part of everyone's journey is finding that path that's right for them. And as women, I think it's just so important that we remember that we know who we are, and that we're grounded, that we're taking care of ourselves, and that when you look in the mirror, make sure you're looking back at someone that you're proud of. That doesn't mean you've done everything right your entire life, but it means that you've learned from each experience and that you're growing as a person. And if pageantry is, again, like Rebekah said, is if it's something you've ever thought of, um, reach out. It is an amazing experience. If pageantry isn't the path, then still there's women involved in this system that can give you information, and that can provide support to you, even if you don't want to do pageantry. So just know that there's someone here for you.
Yes, and if you don't believe us, watch the pageant, buy tickets, buy
Yes.
tickets for Sunday's pageant, and you'll see the difference.
Yes.
You will see the difference. We are not a cookie cutter pageant. Everyone is not
Hmm.
sugar and cut out of cream cheese, and everybody looks the same. We're not Stepford Wives. We
Right.
are a brilliant, dynamic pageant, and this one's an international, so it's even more dynamic.
Okay.
So if you've ever thought about it and you're like, I don't know, $25 is not a lot to make a decision.
Yes.
No, it's not. $25 not at all, ladies and gentlemen. Really not. So y'all plug in. Let me ask you part of the pageant. Are there different activities that would be in place for the pageant as well?
Yes, we will have tomorrow. We have our orientation, and then we have a group outing. We have interviews on Friday, so make sure that you guys send positive vibes, because interviews are hard for everybody. It's a
Yeah.
hard day. They're fun for some, but they are still very. I mean, everybody has anxiety about them. So we have our interviews with the judges on Friday, and then Saturday our red carpet event, and then Sunday is the actual pageant. So we've got a full week ahead of us, which is why we've got other stuff to do today to get done, but we are looking forward to it. It's going to be pretty fun. We're all excited about it.
Hmm. And that's what's up right there. Like I said, we're not gonna hold y'all ladies long. Now y'all got a very productive day. I know it's still early over there in Hawaii. What time is it over there right now?
Just now, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Oh wow, it just
Yeah.
here just 3 minutes to 8 o'clock here in the
Yeah.
states. So,
Yeah,
so
we still have beach time if we want to
Yeah.
here today.
well, y'all have fun and
We will.
and
Thank you so
make a
much.
difference, make an impact where y'all at. I know y'all got to get ready to go finish y'all day, of course. We about to get ready to get off the air. Here, we're gonna be back here come this weekend here on Walking This Way Impact World Podcast. On the corner, if you have anything you want to plug in before we get off the air.
Well, I ain't got nothing. I got stuff to plug in, but I just wanted to make a quick point. And it's really on y'all's two friendship is amazing. It reminded me of this precept that says, if you got 99 sheep and one, strays, go after that one sheep. And it feel like, sometimes we do have 99 friends or a bunch of people around that ain't doing nothing, but normally one makes the change or the difference and make you go a different way. So super shout outs to y'all for that and showing that real sisterhood, because people say sisterhood, but y'all are really showing what that means.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much.
I would. She's my ride or die.
Hmm.
Hopefully, ride.
And awesome, ladies, awesome. We thank y'all, Rebekah, Heidi. Thank y'all again. I know, like I said, I know y'all got a day y'all got to do. And like I said, we better get off this air. So, man, y'all have a great night. And, well, if you're in Hawaii, have a great afternoon. Here in the States, have a great evening. And we'll be back here this coming weekend. Man, y'all have a great night. Love yourself. Be proud of yourself. Tell yourself we're going to be successful. Tell yourself we're going to succeed. And most important, remember the graveyard. everybody had one thing in common. They thought they were going to see tomorrow, and they didn't. Remember, let's live life like it is our last. And most importantly, man, love yourself. And we back here this weekend here on Walking This Way Impact Wars podcast. Peace, everybody.
Thank
Peace.
you.